Hey there, this is my video to show you how to put together books which came in your kit. These are the sizes that you have, which you've probably already checked out in your kit, and I'm going to be using a bone folder, which you do not need, and you can use your little popsicle stick or anything else that's just flat and good for smoothing stuff around. So let's get started. I'm going to do the big one so it's easier to see. So first thing we do is take our decorative paper, flip it wrong side up. I'm going to take my covers and arrange them so that we've got the spine and the front and back cover about evenly spaced, so there's a nice border around the edge. And then, like so. What I like to do, so things don't move around on me too much, I'll take a little piece of tape, if I can find the end, and I just do this so I don't have to worry about things scooting around as I'm gluing them. So flip that up. Am I still in the frame? Yes, I am. Put on some glue. Make sure I get all the edges. Flip it back up and push it down. Just going to do that. It's very exciting. Okay. My little spine piece. Flip that back. Glue that down. Okay, now I can just take off my little tape bits. I like to just flip it over. Just give it a little rub. If I was using a liquid glue, this would be more important just to get any air bubbles out or bumpy parts nice and flat. But in a way, glue stick makes it easier. So now I'm going to finish off my edges. So I will fold that over. I like to push it down like so and crease it. So I'm going to do that on each corner. Fold it nice and flat. Okay. Now, same deal. Glue, glue, glue. Press, press, press. Glue, glue, glue. Press, press, press. Alright. Almost got our corners. Press, press, press. Alright. Now we're going to do the edges. I like to pick up the whole shebang and just fold it over like so. Just to give it a nice crease. Fold it over, flip it, fold it over, and fold it over. That's just me. You'll find your own way that you're comfortable doing things that make sense to you, but that is how I do it. Glue, glue, glue. Press. Glue again. And press. And you'll see as you're doing this, this is why it's nice to have a nice flexible paper, like these sort of handmade, natural, fibery. I mean, you can use something like a scrapbooking paper, or really any kind of paper, wrapping paper. It just might be a little harder to get a nice flat seams. They tend to be a little thicker and a little bulkier than these papers. These papers are thinner and stronger because they're, I don't know, they're not really woven, but they're more fibers going into it. It's not flat like a paper that you'd write on. So, a little bit different. So now, hey, look at that. How cool. It's already looking like a little book. It's pretty neat. So now you've got your block, or your pad, or your pages, or however you want to refer to it, which I've glued together for you. And I use something called a padding compound, which is just a flexible glue, really. Something like an Elmer's, a white glue, that kind of glue is going to dry more brittle. And so if you use something like that on something like this, it's going to tend to crack when you are opening and closing it. So if you wanted to make your own pads, something like a rubber cement is better, or you can Google padding compound. I'm sure it's out there and easy to find. So I'm going to glue my block onto my cover. That is the next step. So I like to take a piece of paper, a little card, something, so that when I'm putting my glue on my last page, I don't make a total mess. And I can just go glue, glue, glue again. And it's trying to get away from me. So now I'm going to place this close to this edge of the cover. So when I say in the instructions, closest to the spine edge of your cover, that's what I mean. So the spine's in the middle, and here we are on the edge. So I'm just going to smoosh that down, and you can see you've got a nice, relatively even edge around your pages, which is pretty cool. If you want to be super careful, you can open it up and smooth it out. Again, you might have a clump of glue, you might have just, gotten something caught in there that you want to smooth out. So do that. So now do the same thing with my other page. I got some paper schmutz in there. Let's get that. See, sometimes things get in there. It's not a problem. So we'll just do that. Glue, glue, glue. And the kind of glue I sometimes use is a white glue called PVA, which is basically like an Elmer's type glue. But that involves brushing on and all that kind of stuff. This is just easier with the glue stick. So I'm going to eyeball it. It's only because I'm doing a video that this is being wonky for me. Here we go. Really, it's handmade, which is the nice thing. If something doesn't line up perfectly, that is totally fine, because you're not a machine, and neither am I. So this is the reason why, all the little pieces of cardboard were cut by these hands. So things are definitely not perfect, and that is okay. So, haha, we have a book. Super cool. So now, the last thing that you can do if you feel like it, you could leave it just like this if you want. You could take something and gently crease in along this edge Do it on the other side. Again, this is the kind of flexibility. You don't want to dig into that because you could tear your paper, but because the paper is so, you know, again, relatively thin and pretty flexible, you can like press in like that and don't have to worry as much about tearing as you would with something like a scrapbooking paper. So what I like to do is I hold on to my edge or the sides of my spine, and I'm pushing in this way with this hand into this space here that I'm creating with these fingers, just to give it a little round edge to it. You know, some books, if you look at books, some books are rectangular around the spine and some are a little more rounded around the spine. It is a personal preference thing, and you can do it however you want. You might choose to do one of your books that way and leave the other ones squared. Again, totally up to you. Ta-da! Yay! We have a little book. So there you go. That is that. So you see, really, a lot of things that you can do with this. And again, so this is the big one. Then we have, just show you just the pages. That's the medium one. And then that's the tiny one. And you can, I mean, you can even go tinier. You could go bigger. You could make a book that's super fat. You could go through your recycling and find cardboard to use for the covers and the spine. You could use copy paper from your printer or recycle book pages, and I mean, there's so much, so much you could do. But this is a good start, and I hope that you enjoy it and go make more. All right, thanks.